Hello, everyone. Today we're going to talk about harassment, intimidation, and bullying.
True or false? A kid who gets teased and bullied knows we're just kidding around. Even if it does hurt his feelings right now, he'll get over it. That is false. Bullying is kind of like pounding a nail into a board. You can take the nail out, but the hole is still there. You can even use some kind of putty to fill the hole up. The bottom line is that that piece of wood will never be quite the same again. People who have been bullied carry those scars, big or small, forever.
So let's talk about what is harassment and bullying. This is often a series of repeated, intentionally cruel incidents involving the same people in the same bully and victim roles. It can consist of a single interaction, so it doesn't have to be repeated. Sometimes it can be severe enough that a single incident is all it takes. The intention of a bullying and harassing situation is to put the victim in distress in some way. It's to make them feel bad. Harassers and bullies seek power, and it can substantially interfere with a student's education. That's pretty severe. That means students aren't coming to school or doing some other things that they should be doing. Also, it can also substantially disrupt the orderly operation of the school, and that's pretty serious. That means that school is not happening because of this type of scenario.
Bullies pick on differences, and differences are what make us unique. Bullies can target victims for many different reasons, such as clothing, culture, intelligence, appearance, hobbies, religion, or physical size.
When we look at bullying behavior versus irritating behavior, we often see there's a difference between conflict and bullying. A bully will not be friends with the person. There's an imbalance of power. This might be seen where there's an 8th grade student doing something to a 6th grade student. Other forms of conflict might be between friends, and often that means that you're at the same level. It might be 2 6th grade students who are just having a conflict. That is not an example of bullying. Another example might be when 2 friends have a spontaneous or an occasional conflict. Maybe there's an argument over the foursquare ball out at lunch. That's not an incident of bullying. Instead, bullying would be something that's repeated over time in order to make someone feel bad. Another form of conflict would be something that's accidental or not planned. Afterwards, usually people feel remorse and they feel bad and they go, oh my gosh, I didn't mean to do that. Bullying, on the other hand, is often intentional. Another example of conflict is that there's no serious or lasting harm. People say they're sorry and we get better. In a bullying situation, there's either physical or emotional harm that lasts. In some forms of conflict or fighting, there's equal emotional reaction. And so what that means is that we might have 2 6th grade or 7th grade students who get into a conflict. They're both upset, they both feel bad about the scenario, and they both want to try and make it better. In a bullying situation, one person, or there's an unequal emotional reaction. So the younger student might be a victim and feel bad about it, and the older student might feel like they didn't do anything wrong. Another form of conflict is that it's not for domination or control. And so maybe we're frustrated with each other or angry with each other, but we're not trying to control each other. A bullying scenario is a spot where you try and take control or possession of someone. As we talked about earlier, instances of conflict often have a sense of remorse, and students often want to try and solve the problem. They might sit down with a counselor to talk about it, or a family member, or here in the office with administrators. In a bullying situation, often the bully does not want to fix the situation. They don't feel that they did anything wrong, and they don't feel bad about it.
There are a couple different kinds of power when we talk about an imbalance of power. So some examples of that are age or grade of the students involved. It could be size or physical strength, or we could be talking about numbers in a group, a larger number of students who are victimizing a smaller or single number of students. The other kind of power could be in terms of social status.
So there are several types of bullying. The first is verbal. Often these are words that we are speaking to each other, and people might take offense by those. Another example would be nonverbal. This could be a look that you give across the room. It could be something that you write that someone takes offense at. Another form might be physical. This is the classic form of bullying where someone gets hit or shoved or knocked around in the hallway. And the last one is a sexual type of bullying. And this is where someone's asking for favors, or that someone does something, or that they have to do something that they don't want to do.
What does bullying look like? Well, it can look a lot of different ways, and verbal is probably the most common type of bullying that we see in our school. That means that it could be something like name calling, teasing, gossip, could be threats even, or jokes about another person.
Bullying also can be a nonverbal in nature and look like notes, cyberbullying, something that we're doing online, maybe sharing a Google document or presentation. It could be mean looks or staring.
Bullying can also be physical, and that doesn't happen very often at our school. This could look like blocking someone's path, pushing or kicking, could even be fighting.
Bullying also looks like in property-related offenses, like hiding belongings. That might be taking someone's backpack, or theft. Extortion means that you're trying to make someone do something, or else you're going to tell on them or take something of theirs. Vandalism might be that you're trying to mark on something or deface something. Sometimes this happens at the end of the year with yearbooks, and that's not a good thing. And then another one would be actual property destruction, where something's damaged and you can't use it anymore. Also, one that we do see fairly often is taking or throwing your materials. And so that would be someone walking by, grabbing your stuff and trying to take it away or put it away from your possession. Those are things that we don't want to do here at our school.
Another form of bullying could be sexual in nature, such as sexual harassment. This could be teasing with sexual overtones, touching, slapping, making jokes or sexual innuendo. This could also take form in pictures, sending text messages, anything on social media, emails, graffiti, and that sort of thing.
A basic rule with sexual harassment is if your grandmother doesn't want to see it, you shouldn't be doing it. Okay, so what can I do? So bullying starts and stops with you. If you see another student being victimized by a bully or bullies, tell someone. Offer positive or encouraging comment. Helping someone else feel good about themselves only makes you feel better. The most important part of these situations is the bystander, and that's you as the witness. Do not laugh or participate. If you get that uneasy feeling that it's not okay, try and help the person out. Also, your teachers, counselors, and principals are all willing to listen and help. And lastly, make sure you file a report. There are forms located in the office.
So what else can I do? If you are guilty of bullying, even just once, make a commitment to recognize it and stop it, starting today. You can also do something by being a good bystander. And school district policy forbids bullying, and those guilty of it are subject to disciplinary consequences.
The last thing that we have for you is, at the end of the day, if you have concerns, please make sure to come down to the main office. In the office, we have a reporting form that you can fill out and we'll get it turned in. Thanks so much, and let's have a great day.